On the way, we need one more per form. And what I'd like to do is, I'm gonna change, if nobody has any objection, I'm gonna change up the format here a little bit. To where some of the items that we do not have to take action on. And then, we'll just kind of play with it until we get it right. Okay, at this time, I'd like to, everybody stand close to the US flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and. All right. So just informed something happened. Chris was not able to be here, so we're not gonna be able to take action on a few of the items here, so, the approval of the minutes, I have to go on to the next meeting. And, we don't have no additions or deletions, so. Okay, so let's do this, let's go to the, financial reports. Anybody had, I can get caught up, but we don't have a form here, so study of them, next meeting we have, we'll just have to address them at that point in time. Unless anybody has found any issues in them that they have a question on. If nobody does, okay. All right, so we've got an application for a council member. We're not gonna be able to take action on it either. But most of you may know this gentleman here, his name is Chris Wynn with FWC. Chris has been real integral in helping and assisting Clint over the years in a lot of the lake waterfront activities. He's real integral in what's happening. I think some of you may have seen it in the paper down here, Montgomery Lake. And he's got a real good vision for outdoor recreation in our community, so I think he's gonna be a real good asset. And he also, had another meeting prior to this one here, so, but he will definitely, we're just gonna have to go through this. We may be calling another, after everybody gets done with their vacations, we may be calling another meeting, to catch up on business. So, with that being said, okay, so. Say again? That's right, yes. Mhm. Okay, you got the. And what Connie asked is, we're just gonna come down this list and play with it because it's kind of weird because there's so much action needs to take place, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So we're reporting on May that we have Fed tax is, we're up. That's fantastic. A little over 6%, 167,520 for this year, for May, which brings us to a little over 496,522 for the fiscal year so far that we have. Our occupancy rate is maintaining. It is still very, very high, 68.9. And it is actually, I just got a report. We are actually one of the highest in the state right now. Yeah, it's pretty cool that we're still maintaining that. So 13% up over last year. ADR is up, RevPAR is up, and of course the demand is still very, very high with an 8% increase that we have.
Okay. Anybody, any questions? Go ahead, Clint.
You hit on these, even though we can't take action on it because we do have representatives here.
Okay, yeah, okay, good, yeah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna address, we'll have a discussion, and that's all we can do, because naturally, I've got a card here from a gentleman he'd like to speak on one of the requests, but it's just a listen and hear situation. We can't take action, so we're just gonna go down the line. These are funding requests. And I believe, Ms. Fay, you got a presentation or ask or Blue Gray Army Incorporation as, Lexi Festival has requested $10,000 like they do every year. Would you have anything you'd like to say?
I would just like to say that your support over the years has been fabulous, that we could not do what we do for the community if we did not have your support. But I just can go on and on and on. I just appreciate it. Our organization appreciates it. We want to do a quality event, and with that, with your support, we feel like we've done that over the years. And I thank you very much. If there's any questions in regards to what we do, I'll be happy to address them.
Okay. And this was a action item, and Sylvester Warren got a card here he would like to speak on number 1. And Sylvester, rather than wait till the end, you're more than welcome to go ahead and tell us what you'd like to hear on item number 1, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of the TDC Board. Thank you for recognizing me. First thing I want to say is that I think we're living in the year of 2024, and myself and many people from the community in which I'm born and raised find this event to be offensive. Historically, it's offensive. All it does is illustrate and re-illustrate a fight that was against brothers and sisters. And I think it's antiquated, and I think it's time that this is an event that we put behind us, and we look forward to try to work together to create new events that would be more diverse and more inclusive. But I think that the Old Lusty Festival, in my opinion, and the opinion of many people that I talk to, has ran its course. I would ask that this board no longer continue to fund it, and ask that they sit down with the community as a whole and try to come up with something more diverse and more inclusive. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so moving on to number 2, there's not a representative here. Michelle or Connie, either one of y'all take that.
This is for the Florida Gateway Livestock Show and Fair that they have, pro rodeo, that we do every single year and budget. It brings in a lot of people, a lot of competitors come in, as well as a lot of people that come in to participate, not only participate, but also to watch the thing. It is a big deal for our community, and I know that we get a lot of people that are looking forward to it through the time.
Okay, and then we do have some guests here for anybody have any questions? I'm sorry. Christine does have a seat right there.
Appreciate it.
We do have a group here representing Alpha Rocker, and they're here to educate us on what they've been doing, how they got to where they're at, and where they're going. So thank you, over.
Thank you all. So we're a nonprofit organization. We started in 2020 with 2 kids, a couple of them local. We now have 63 across the United States that we sponsor. We put on an annual rodeo, and we used to do it in another county. We actually have so many kids local here that we actually want to bring it to Columbia County now and use the fairgrounds. We give sponsorships for every event. They have to keep a B average. They have to send us their report cards. If they do not have a B average, they get put on probation. They have 9 weeks to bring it up. So we try to keep it for something for the kids to aim for. Like I said, we have 63, 22 of them are local to Florida. Probably half of that is Columbia County. Some of them are down in Williston. And we want to bring them all in and put on this Bulls, Broncs, and Barrels. We're also going to do a community day, if it's possible, from 12 to 3. I'm going to have all the kids that we sponsor come. We're going to open it up to the community. They can go around to different stations and talk to the kids about how they got involved in rodeo, what their events are. If any of the other kids want to get involved, they're more than welcome to talk to them and, go from there. So we would like to make this an annual deal and hopefully get a 5-year contract per se to keep it here. for at least the next 5 years, and hopefully turn it into something bigger, some sort of festival, bring in some country music singers maybe. But the main focus right now is to get the rodeo established and growing. So we just left Gainesville. We were down at the radio station down there talking to them about, advertising and how we can make this a bigger thing. We've already talked with the hotels here in town about blocking off some rooms, because we had 2,500 people a night at our last rodeo. We have people coming from all over the state. We have team members coming from Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, as far as California. They will all come and be a part of this event. So, and help spread the word, So if there's anything that we can do on our end to promote tourism, that's what we're here to do.
Well, I would highly recommend to you, once the time comes, to come get with Michelle and Connie, and, I'm sure we can help on the website side of things, helping promote these things.
For sure. If you guys have banners, we'd love to hang them in the arena, buck and shoots, whatever we have to do. We'd love to help promote. That's all we can.
But I would like to go on and say the bee thing on the grades, that's a big deal.
100%. But this isn't even our full-time job. We're school teachers. So I actually took the day off work. My wife is the director of a school. They have to come do barn chores. I'm a horseback riding instructor. They have to come do barn chores before they even go to school. Then they leave the school, they go back to the school, then they come back to me one at a time for their ride time. So the B average thing is absolutely we're sticklers on that.
Yeah.
So, but we appreciate y'all at least even taking the opportunity to give us a chance on it. So.
Shane, we appreciate y'all coming, and I know you've got a couple representatives here. Board, I personally know these guys. I know a lot of the kids that they have put through this rodeo circuit. A lot of them, again, not from Columbia County, and this is an avenue for them to get into what y'all watch on TV. So they do a great job in supporting the kids, and look forward to. When we take action on this, hopefully we can help y'all get this thing underway.
Whatever you guys can do, be greatly appreciated.
We appreciate you
I got a
taking the
question
time.
for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I may, Chair. So you only host this event at a rodeo stadium or area, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever thought about hosting this event at let's say a park?
Sure.
We got several parks around here that we could have. We could probably host an event, because obviously this park here, this rodeo set out here, it's kind of huge. You got the stadium and all this good stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
You ever thought about hosting it maybe like at I want to say diverse group, because
Sure.
there's a lot of cowboys and cowgirls that kind of look like me.
Hey, 100%.
And I want to see it. And we don't get, I was raised on the north side of town.
Yes, sir.
We don't get a lot of things going on that side of town. So what I'm looking at is maybe hosting that event on that side of town to grow that side of town, because there are some nice parks or centers that you can consider.
100%.
And when you talk about grades, I think that that's very, very important to a lot of families, especially mothers and fathers, you know what I mean? For those kids to do that. But I would like to see something to that effect and grow it from that side to this side, or from that side to this side, So just consider that if you may.
So, Mr. Jernigan, one of the kids that we just sponsored this year, his name is Jeremiah Rim, and he is from Williston, Florida. He goes to the Rafter Cross Cowboy Church, and that's where I met him. He's actually adopted. Okay, he was one of our first kids that graduated, got an athletic scholarship to Coffeyville, Kansas for football and to be on their rodeo team. And you said there's athletes that look like you. He is actually one of them. So we do sponsor everybody. It's not just a single thing. logistic wise, to put on a rodeo in the park, it's a lot. It's a lot of money because you have to truck in the buck and shoots. You have to set up the panels. You have to pay for all of that. And that's extra. It's an extra expense, which is obviously why we're here. But I'm not opposed to it. I have reached out and I looked to see if there was somebody I could talk to from the Boys and Girls Club, because like I said, I had, we want to do a community open house. That's open to everybody. So if the people from the north side of the county want to come, they are more than welcome to. We would love to have them. We would embrace them with open arms. I just need to, if they're interested in it, we'd love to have them. Logistics wise is where we're going to run into the issue right now.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it can't be done. We would love to do it. We know maybe that's something that you and I could talk about at a later date, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. And the reason why I brought that up, because you take that, what's that, it's her name Beyonce or something like that. She's got a lot of country music out there.
Yes, sir.
And there's another guy out there that's got some country music out there. And those are cowboys and cowgirls. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where, what's good for everybody.
Absolutely.
This side of that side, northeast, south, and west.
100%. Yes, sir. I'm open to everything.
And I've been hanging around Tim Murphy for all of his life.
Yes, sir.
And we've always wanted to do stuff like this right here. He and I.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I may have to compete.
I
against
signed
him.
you up for the,
I was just
mutton bust.
We can make it even. We can make it even. We got a mechanical bull. You guys can have a ride on.
Well, we'll probably be broken all up, but I'm willing to take on that task.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, somebody going to represent the Swanee Bicycle Association.
No, they're not, but I can do it.
Just give everybody else.
Absolutely. The Swanee Bicycle Association during the Stephen N. Foster Folk Festival was actually approached by a representative that is doing wants to do a PBS show on the trails that they have in Hamilton County and Columbia County. And they have asked us to join and work with them on the sponsorship of being able to do that. It would be televised, it would be filmed and televised on a PBS channel. They would run it 4 times in 1 week, and then it would be on a rerun loop of some sort. And I don't know what the rerun loop is, but they will actually do the taping in the fall, and then it'll actually air next spring. We don't have an actual date on that airing yet, but when we get it, we can. So that is what they're asking.
Okay. If no questions, we'll move on to the CYSA request.
I don't see the representative here from CYSA. This tournament was obviously this past weekend. Great event turned out. We had over 600 players that were signed up for this. It's turned into be a big deal, as all of you know. For a long time, we had trouble getting Soccer Association to get on board with us to host some events. We have a new board out there now, and they are very, very well adapted to bringing these events in and doing more. Last month, they actually had a class out there that the coaches and all that came in to do this summer camp was from Germany. They were here in our hotels for 5 days. Turned into a big deal, which led to this tournament being so successful because people were coming in to that. So a lot more stuff coming up with soccer in the near future. So that's become a big deal. Mr. Chairman.
I just, of course, Clint's been involved at Southside for quite many years, but this is real exciting because we've got a lot of opportunity out here to grow. And of course, with the flat fields coming on, this new group, not saying the past groups were bad at no means, but it seems like they've got a younger vision, if you want to say. But of course, we all know how fast soccer is growing throughout the state. And it was very, very it was pretty neat to see that excitement out there this weekend.
Yes, somebody wants to comment
Okay,
on that.
yes, okay.
Chair, if you don't mind, I'll be brief. I just want to piggyback on what Mr. Pittman said about soccer. Soccer is a very, very fast growing sport throughout the United States and in other countries. And there was a little tug of war to get the county to give us some soccer goals over in Maddox. I would say this, Mr. Pittman, I appreciate y'all bringing the goals out. It has increased the volume of people on a daily basis to 50 to 60 people every afternoon playing soccer out there because of those 2 goals.
Awesome.
So it was worth the fight.
All right, and then we'll move on to the chamber. I think we do have a representative here on the chamber. Like to educate us some.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. So the Gateway City Craft Beer and Wine Festival is on the calendar for September 28th with a rain date of October 19th because we live in the great state of Florida. We're always preparing for the hurricane. It's, I believe, technically the 10th year of us doing the festival, or 9th. We took a break in 2020 for obvious reasons. Last year, our crown jewel was we sold to 2 different countries. We had ticket holders all the way from Italy, 6 states and 40 different cities. So the ticketing platform we use tracks everything. It tells us where all the attendees come from. So it continues to grow and expand. I believe in 2021, we added a maker's market to it. So it's just not beer and wine anymore. It's more of a community event with a beer and wine sampling section, but it continues to grow, and we're very appreciative of the continued support and partnership of the TDC.
Appreciate it.
I've got a question for you, if I may. I know you say beer and wine. Do you have water on there or anything? What about these people that don't drink? I never drank beer, wine in my entire life. Tim wouldn't allow me to do it back in the day. So I still haven't got a chance to. So my point is, when I go to these different events, there's got to be something else besides beer and wine for the people that don't drink. I never even had an apple beer. I don't know if you know what that is. That was way back in the day. Is there any way possible that you can add maybe like water or maybe like I don't know, Jim?
There is.
There's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, we usually average about 16 food trucks that are selling things other than beer and wine.
Okay.
We personally don't offer water out in the open because that's, of course, an improved cost, but I mean, there's options for people who are not alcohol drinkers.
There's a lot of opportunity to take care of your thirst as you better.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And you don't have to buy a ticket if you're not drinking, so you get to go for free.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for telling me that. I'll be there. Okay.
Okay, and I've got Mr. Warren like to speak on this. I believe that's right, number 6.
Yeah, thank you again for recognizing me, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm an avid reader and I studied the history of the chamber all throughout the world, both the historical Black Chamber of Commerce and the Historical Chamber of Commerce in general have done great things. One of their key roles is to foster and promote businesses to come to town and advertise the city in such a way that it would attract people and attract tourists and attract businesses. My disappointment with today's offer is that was not in the key heart of the designers or the founders and forefathers of the Chamber of Commerce, is to have a beer and wine festival. That's not promoting anything that's positive, right? You're promoting people to go out and drink. You got police officers that's you could potentially be setting somebody up to go to jail, It's just not a good thing to be promoting as a chamber. I think that is not something that should be in their wheelhouse. Personally, I'm a member of the Lake City Black Chamber of Commerce. If they decide to do something like that, I would remove myself from that particular board. I just don't believe that it is something that we should, as a community, support. If people want to drink, there's liquor stores for that. If people want to get them a beer, it's fine. It's legal to do. But I don't think it's something that we should be putting dollars in advertising and having people to buy tickets to come out and openly just drink in the public. So I find it semi just disrespectful to the whole founding fathers of the concept of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments? Johnny, we'll move on to your report, here.
So this is something that we haven't done in the past, but because there's some changes. We found in the past that we're seeing a lot of people coming over from Jacksonville and some of them are day trippers, but a lot of them are spending the night. This month in May, we're actually seeing that Tampa and St. Petersburg and Orlando have actually grown. And they were some of our top markets coming in and actually using accommodations. That could be because of sports things that they're actually attending. It very much could be, and probably so. But we also know Jacksonville people absolutely are coming. We're also seeing more from our Atlanta area too, and Georgia areas are starting to increase. And part of that's because we're expanding our reach of some of the marketing that we're doing into those other areas. So we're not focusing just on Florida all the time, because we're closer to Georgia than we are some parts of Florida. So, we're expanding that out. So anyway, I thought this was very interesting. I just wanted to share it with you on that. So it's not something that we normally share, but I thought it was interesting. You guys would find it that way as well. Public relations that we have, we've had 19 placements this month. These are a couple of the ones where we have been mentioned and talked about that we have. And these did not cost us a dime to do. So these are not things that we are advertising in. And this is an ad value of over $8 million for us that we've been able to do. Social media and Facebook, really great thing about this is everything is up except for impressions. Impressions decreased just a touch. This time of year, that's not unusual. There's a lot of things going on out there. Followers have increased, where our engagement is increasing, which engagement, people actually seeing what we're doing, and then our reach is up 80% that we have. Instagram that we have, once again, everything is up on this with the exception of a slight decrease in impressions, but everything else is up, and we have an engagement at 120% increase in 1 month. That's just absolutely amazing. One of the things that we're finding is the reels and things that we're using are definitely making a difference, because we've increased the number of reels that we're using. That has made a lot of difference for us on those. So we will continue to be doing that. We are also adding in some blogs, and which will actually throw some people back our way as well. Website. We had 19,000 new users that came in May. A lot of people are looking and searching for things like the Springs, what to do, events that we can do. When we look at the ad search words and all, those are the things that come to the top of mind. Absolutely, mobile is where we're seeing a lot of attraction, but we're also seeing a lot of organic users coming through. Excuse me, I apologize. Pinterest, no problem. Pinterest, we haven't talked about that, but this month we do that much. Pinterest is something that we do an awful lot on. This past month in May, we had 87,000 impressions that came through, and click-through rate is almost 2%. The average in our industry is right at 3%. So we are way, way above. And this platform right now is showing that it is doing a lot to actually drive interest in what we're doing from a social media standpoint. So I know this isn't something we always see, but once again, I thought you would find this to be very, very interesting. We're continuing to use Pinterest, and because of some of the results that we're seeing on this, we're adding in a lot of the blogs and other things to drive this traffic. Events calendar. I don't know if you guys have looked at this, but we have a lot of events happening in this community and a lot of really exciting things going on. Smokey the Bear's 80th birthday bash is coming up out at Alligator Lake, which I think is exciting that we have. It's hard to believe that Smokey is 80 years old, but that's kind of a fun thing that we're doing. But in addition to that, you're seeing a lot of other things that are happening in the community. Ricky's excited. I'm not real sure why, but there's a lot of things to see and do. And this is one of the things, because we're seeing searches happening from calendar events and what I can do in a community in an awful lot. This is something that we're maintaining. So anybody having any events or hear of anything, please, please, please shoot it over to me so that we can get it as a part of this. Podcast interview. I actually did a podcast interview here recently with Rob Jones. He's with the Family Vacationer. It is, and they're based here in Florida. That they have. He contacted me. This was free of charge for us to do. This, the podcast and the interview will actually be airing here pretty soon. I don't have a date yet. As soon as I do, board, you will all get that along with a link so that you have it as well. They're looking at family-friendly vacations, which is something we've been pushing all summer long, is how people and families can come here and be a part of the things that we have in Columbia County. We will be hosting an influencer in the fall. We don't have the name on this person. We have 3 people that we've looked at right now, and we're looking to schedule those dates and have them here in the community. Once again, it will be a family-friendly focus on that influencer that'll be coming in and doing things here in town so that we can do those things. David Kelly is a writer. He writes for the Florida Country magazine that we have. He is actually someone too that we are going to be having in the fall, and then we will be in one of the magazines for the spring to early summer of next year. Once again, this will also be family friendly, looking at things that they can do in town, the springs, those kinds of things that they can do with families and kids and all. So that'll be happening in the fall. Do not have a date. We're looking at probably August or October at this point in time. And last but not least, the Levy Performance Hall out at Gateway College. If you guys haven't looked, they are doing so many events and doing a lot of very unique things. They have a Taylor Swift tribute that is coming up. So it's someone that actually goes in and sings and does that. That is coming up. They have some big brass band stuff that is coming for the holidays. They're doing some live plays. They're doing a lot of different things, and all of those are things that are great for tourism and bringing people in from other different areas. And I kind of just wanted to get them on your radar a little bit.
Okay, just to clarify something, that's the Levy performance.
Levy, what did I say?
Mr. Levy come back and haunt you.
Don't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a great man. Okay, Clint, looking forward to the update on the 500-acre project.
All right, y'all heard me talk about this for several years now. We've been trying to move forward with all this. We're looking at, obviously, you heard the gentleman make the presentation here a few weeks back, hopefully to enter into an economic development type project with a public-private partnership in order to build this facility out. We're still working on that, dealing with him on numbers and formal information on how this, facility will benefit the county and how we can get a return on a big build out all at once. So we're still working forward on that. You'll probably see some information coming up here pretty quick on some other meetings that we're going to have to finalize some things. But obviously this is all about funding and getting everything laid out properly so that we can have a facility that we can get a return on. We're still on the same goal that we've always been on. Y'all have seen the master plans and the layouts over the years. Obviously, some of that may be tweaked to better fit what the market is calling for right now. What I mean by that is instead of 8 fields, you may build 12 up front, may change the size of the buildings a little bit. But all that's to accommodate the best use and the best return on the money. So again, that's what we're working on now. That's why it takes a long time to plan and do all this, because we've got to meet the current market that we're dealing with right now. So it is moving forward. I'm excited about it, and hopefully here in the very near future, we'll have some more information to try to kick this thing off. And again, thank you to Stas, sitting by Eric. We were able to get some legislative appropriation this year. He worked very hard to do that for us, so that will help us get it kicked off. Also for phase 1 and some funding for that. So Stas, again, we appreciate the work you did on that. Any questions on the 500 acre facility?
I heard you mention P3. I heard you mention P3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a concept I've never heard the county use nor the city use until I introduced it. So y'all are now willing to use the P3 concept?
But it's something that this particular firm, they do it all over the country. The county's never had a project to this magnitude as far as recreation goes that we enter into those kind of partnerships. But in order to get a return on our investment and to build a project this big, it's basically the only way. I mean, you know how government works, we're trying to procurement process.
I appreciate P3s. I think they're the most fabulous things in the world. I just tried to do one on the housing with the county and city and he rejected it. And I see one going on, so I was just curious.
This is something that we're checking into an avenue in order to get the resources that we need.
Smart.
So, all right, any other questions on the 500 acre facility? All right, the next thing on here is our current year sports calendar. The sports calendar has always been an area we try to fill in close to the end of the year. Our hotel folks and all, so, we don't have a lot of stuff going on towards the end of the year. We need people in rooms, so we've been working hard to try to fill in some of those gaps. And I'm proud to announce that in the past few weeks, we've brought on 2 or 3 new promoters. You'll see on there, USFA Fast Pitch Softball has filled dates starting in August all the way through the end of the year. So we have several tournaments coming up with those folks. We were confirmed yesterday their October 5th and 6th weekend. That tournament right now currently already has 70 plus teams signed up because they're doing a fundraiser benefit deal in conjunction with that tournament. So that's going to be a big deal. Went from a 40 team tournament to approximately 70 teams as of yesterday. And I'll be getting some flyers out and information out on that as we get them from the promoter. Also, we've got a firm that's reached out. We have a sports team called Airstream out of Jacksonville that we teamed up with a couple of years ago. Y'all may remember when the board approved that. Working hard with those guys to bring some golf stuff in here, which has never been done here. So that'll be a good thing. You've also got some more lacrosse and different things to utilize the soccer fields. We've already kind of joined forces with the Soccer Association to be able to utilize those fields in their downtime. So we'll have some more events coming up at the soccer fields, which, you'll see some more hotel nights and restaurants packed from that also. But if you go down through there, there's a lot of stuff, October, November. Obviously, the holidays play a big part in that. We got 2 dates in December right now. We got a couple more calls for that in December, but we got to be careful stacking people around the holidays and, when employees are off and all that. So Thanksgiving and Christmas is difficult to book tournaments because of those holiday weekends, but we are filling the gaps. So if anybody's got any questions on that. That's all I got.
Appreciate it, Clint. And while we're fresh on the thought of filling in the gaps, as Clint says, I was going over the financials and the proposed budget here in the last couple of days, and I had a conversation with Connie and the boss lady over there. But anyway, long story short, we lost revenues. we're in good shape, but we lost revenues in the past with some of the damage that happened to the signs and stuff out there. But, you know, the digital and this thing right here, this is a big deal that Clint has here on October 5th. You know, and we can, our digital sign, when we get it there, what I'm recommending staff to do is, and anybody can fill in the gaps that they like. I think we need to reach out to our advertising agencies, Paradise and people like that, and let's put a program together and let's sell some ads because, I mean, this is, it's all, you know, some of the things that we're doing on a personal side of, you know, at the fairgrounds this year for some, it's fixing to come out of the ground. People, it's going to catch their attention. It's just, I think it's a good opportunity, not only just to make a little bit of money, but maintain. I mean, that thing costs a lot of money to run it down the plant. If we don't do nothing but break even on the maintenance aspect of it, but most of you are very well aware that's a big expense that we got out there each and every month. Might as well capitalize on what we got there, you know. But I just wanted to kind of reiterate on there because that's a pretty big jump there on that October deal. This back when I was doing it, October was about to fall off time in tournaments, you know. But anyway, okay. Open public comments to anybody. 2 minutes. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for recognizing. My comment is that I've looked at the numbers. I researched the TDC since its inception. And I've noticed that no dollars. I don't know what the reason is. And my grandmother always told me there's no dumb question. The only dumb questions are one not asked. So I'm asking, why has there not been any TDC dollars spent in what I call the hood, Black community, inner city, north of the tracks? There's been no dollars invested from the TDC. Is there a lack of that community is not asking? Is there a lack of this board not doing any outreach? Or does this board just find that community not worthy of investing in and it doesn't benefit to put money in that community as it relates to this particular organization?
You want to take that?
I've probably been here with the county longer than anybody that's sitting in this room as far as getting these events and all. I mean, a lot of people, tourist development dollars have to be spent on things that drive tourism. So whether it be tournaments or events that drive tourism. So if there's not events held in these neighborhoods you're talking about that drive tourism, there's not an ask from the tourism board to help support or advertise or do those. So it's not that we don't support anything in any particular neighborhood, but we have to have an event that drives tourism in order to justify it, and somebody has to do that ask. You know, a lot of these events that we're here today, some of these new events, you know, they may ask for $2,500. We may award that $2,500, but they may only end up getting $1,500 of that based on their information that they give back to us. These grant applications and what we spend on these events pretty much are a performance type deal. So you have to show the hotel nights, you have to show what the event is, you have to show your advertisement cost or what it takes to put that event on in order to get TDC funds, because it's totally different from general fund for the Board of County Commissioners.
It's kind of disappointing that activities can draw from one side of town to the other. People coming way in from Tampa and Jacksonville, you telling me we can't create a event in the Black community that where people would come and they would stay in the local hotels?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
And the different you know, the different parks and what have you, we're talking about Richardson, Annie Manoff,
Absolutely.
stuff such as that. The boards that I know we have in them two positions, it's up to them to bring the proposal forward because there's criteria that, I mean, just only because I'm part of it and I know, you know, other than the commissioner and other than being on this board, but, you know, we've got a stack of information because we've got to track the people coming to the rodeo, people coming to the fair. It's a big endeavor. It's a lot more than just, and I personally think that the boards that sit at Annie Maddox in Richardson, they're more than capable of doing it. Just, what I would recommend, because I know you're a member of the Annie Maddox board.
No, sir, I resigned.
Okay, if you would just pass the word on, they can get with staff and they'll explain to them the details of how how it takes place. But, do we go over to Southside and, the fairgrounds and say, hey, we want y'all to do this and we'll give you this amount of money? Because there's statutes that naturally, I don't agree with all of them, but it's, when you're dealing with bid tax monies, there's a lot of strings attached. I guess about the way I put it,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Man,
Yes.
the other thing is too, we do not put on events out of this office. That is not what we do. We support events through different ways, but we are not event organizers or event producers or those kinds of things. So we're not actually choosing to go out and say, hey, we're going to put on, I don't know, a music concert or a sporting event or things like that. Those are people that are wanting to come into our community.
Yeah, I understand that part. I understand y'all's inception and what y'all doing. I appreciate it.
Okay, any other public comment? How about, TDC member?
Yes, sir. I would, thank you, Tim. I would like to see a photo of this board. I don't know if you're gonna post it up here or if you're gonna put it on that 75 bulletin board out there, but I'd like to see a photo of all the board members with Michelle and things like that. So is any way possible we can get something like that done too? I guess you would have to put on your Sunday best to take that photo, but we would love to have a photo of every of this group of this council.
We'll work towards that as long as you don't wear your boss hats. How about that?
No, I won't wear my gloves at that. I'll let you go touch that. You don't let.
I did have a quick question. So what are we gonna do if we're not meeting again until September? What are we gonna do with these funding requests that people are gonna need a response before then?
I was gonna try to touch on that. And first, room-wide question. Is the mornings a problem? I mean, it doesn't say,
I mean, for me personally, 11 o'clock is difficult because you're in the middle of your day. You got to stop. If something like Chris, something's running late. For me, it'd be better to either do it first thing or end of the day type of thing. So you're not, and it's not like it's lunchtime either. It's, right before lunch. So you can't even justify.
right.
That's too late for me.
The deal, I have to agree with you, because it is, for county employees, Clint, he makes his schedule as he is, but, they're pulling from him. His changes, in his defense, probably about every 5 minutes as well as David does and what have you. But I'm open to, because would Chris win? Chris, if you would put your hand in the air. This is a Chris win. This is our new applicant. He's a state worker, so he'll be here every time we tell him to. But no, I'm not kidding. But it's I've got a little bit more rain to run these days, but than I used to. But I think it's just one of them deals. We already figured out we can't serve lunch and do all that type of stuff anymore. That's one of them crazy statutes that we talked about earlier. But Neil, I think she hit it on the head. 11 o'clock is a strange time to bring everybody out abroad. I don't know. You got any input on that, Glenn?
Personally, I'd rather do it first thing in the morning because if people schedule it, they can kind of schedule their day in the afternoon. It's 11 o'clock, and I mean, for me, it always interferes with my lunch, and that's the most important thing in the day. But seriously, at 11 o'clock, you got to, if I'm in the middle of a project with a crew out there somewhere, it's hard for me to get here, and leave a crew out there working on something. And then as soon as you get done with here, it's lunch. And then, I've got another meeting at 1 o'clock today. So it's back to back, I'd rather do it first thing in the morning personally.
We be talking about like 7 o'clock AM. You know, when you're in the military, you got those times, you wake up all the time at night. So, what you saying, like 8 o'clock maybe?
Yeah, 8:30 probably, because even if people open their offices at 8 o'clock, they may have to touch base in their office before they can, so.
Very good.
That gives staff opportunity to come in and get, the screen set up. And of course, Michelle normally does that day before, but.
Party of one.
uh,
It's a party of one.
But we might have to give her a little bit of comp time, come in a little early, but David, where will we have to change that? Will we have to?
You just have to set the date of your next meeting,
We can,
because you can't vote on it.
Right.
So
Mhm.
if you call a meeting at 8 o'clock,
Gotcha.
or 8:30,
Okay. But
just so long as you got the 7-day notice.
But also, Daniil, I think because of the action that needs to take place on this, such as the blue gray and stuff like that, I'm just gonna have to get with it, and we're gonna have to call they're gonna have to call a special meeting to expedite them dollars out, But, I just think it's necessary, but what I'll ask, Connie and Michelle to do is reach out and poll everybody again and be expected, we'll do everything we got to do to move things forward to have the next, we'll call it a special call meeting for this reason, and we'll do the next one in the morning and let's see if that helps things out. But I think that's a great idea. Well, it's called Ricky not holding in a mush. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to announce the next meeting is Wednesday, September 18th. So beware, we'll be reaching out to you pretty quick. So with that being said, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
And on the way out, Chris Wynn again, this is the applicant. Chris, you have anything you'd like to say to us on the way out the door? We appreciate you showing interest to come on board.
I don't want to hold everybody up for lunch, I just, have a real interest in helping out the county, and, wasn't really seeking this out, kind of had a few people come and say, hey, I might be a good addition. I'm not, either way, if I'm on this board or not, I'm going to support the TDC, and I've got 2 kids here in town. And I was thinking, as y'all were talking about the 500-acre complex, how we, in all the softball tournaments and everything, we play baseball, we go to baseball tournaments, and there might be a game at, 9 o'clock in the morning, we're done by 10. Our next game's at 1, and we're looking for a place to go fishing. You know what I mean? So if we can help the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission in developing a new 500 acres on the north side of town to have more outdoor activities to help people get connected with the beautiful things that we have in North Florida, I want to help on this board. And if I'm on this board, I'm still going to help. So thanks for having me today, and thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Get lunch.